Welcome to 32 and 32, where we count.
Anyway, that's beside the point. At the end of the day, it's a business.
If you're the Rams, you are officially coming off the absolute worst performance in the Super Bowl ever. I think Robert Kraft is peas in someone else's pod.
I mean, yeah, Super Bowl wins are so old. I mean, the rings are probably to dust right now. So,
Not about the Eagles today. We're talking about the Bears.
Yeah. So, as usual, let's take a look first at their free agent signings. Thanks for watching, folks. That is today's analysis of the Minnesota Vikings. Welcome to 32 and 32, where we cover one team each day for 32 straight days, all leading up to the kickoff of the 2019 season on Thursday Night Football. Today's team is?
The Arrowheads, Kansas City Chiefs.
That's right.
And I just want to say, this is a Chiefs team that, wow, they went above and beyond last season. Though they were knocked out in the AFC Championship game last year, they did go above and beyond, having a guy like Patrick Mahomes at quarterback. And looking at this offseason and the draft, it seems that the Chiefs are looking to maintain that success going to this season.
Yeah, I do. I will say this. I do expect Mahomes to take a step back, not because that he drops off, but because I expect the NFL to start catching up at some point.
Well, I mean, prime example, look at the Saints from, the season before last. I mean, we saw the Saints offense take a step back last season because the NFL had caught up to them.
Mm-hmm.
But, I feel that when Patrick Mahomes first came on as a starter for the Kansas City Chiefs, last season, a lot of teams weren't expecting this type of production out of him. He won MVP in his first season as a starter. He ended up making the cover of Madden 20, which I am definitely going to get when it comes out. So, catch me on PS4 if you want to challenge me online. Let me know. I'll give you these problems. But back to what I'm trying to say.
And by problems, he means a crick in the neck for sitting too long.
Can y'all call 911 or something? I'm probably going to do a Shawn Michaels Sweet Chin music on him after we're done. So, call the Coast Guard. But with Patrick Mahomes, I do feel that, there's going to be a lot of film study. If you're a defensive coordinator that's going to be going against the Chiefs, be prepared to be in the film room if you want to catch up to what Mahomes is doing next season.
So here's my thing about the Kansas City Chiefs. Obviously they're without Kareem Hunt. They're without Kareem Hunt, and the running game did take a little step back. Although, was it Michael Ford? Or no,
I think Darrell Williams.
Something like that. The running game's not too bad, but they obviously missed Hunt down the stretch. The other big question is going to be Tyreek Hill.
He's also, in a domestic dispute, which is why, as we go into the draft class, they got Mecole Hardman, second round out of Georgia. And Mecole Hardman, he's probably Tyreek Hill 2.0. And he's probably going to be the guy that's going to replace Tyreek Hill, depending on what Kansas City does with him. We don't know if they're going to release him. We don't know if they're going to give him a hefty suspension. The way things look, he's probably going to be suspended for the first 6 to 8 games.
I think so, yeah.
So having Mecole Hardman, I feel he's going to fill that void just because of how versatile he is. If you look at how Kirby Smart used him at Georgia, Mecole Hardman, he played receiver, he was punt returner and kick returner, and you're looking at a guy that could change the game in one play.
I just kind of feel like he's going to be more of a special teams guy up front. He was not the main target at Georgia. Can he be the main target? I don't know. We don't have that sample size.
I don't think he's going to start off as the main target, but he is going to be. I feel that Andy Reid's going to use him a lot in the slot. Mm-hmm. And I feel that, of course, he's going to be a special teams guy. He's basically going to take Tyreek Hill's place in the special teams department.
One of the big things that Kansas City had trouble with last year was defense. My goodness.
And if you look at the offseason, if you want to look at their free agency, they are serious about.
They were real serious about addressing
they
that.
End up getting Alex Okafor. They end up getting Tyrann Mathieu, Bashad Breeland. Good Lord, they end up getting Frank Clark.
Damian Wilson. Traded for Frank Clark. They
And
signed
that
Carlos
that was a
Hyde.
huge pickup. Frank Clark was probably one of the biggest steals in the free agency.
It was a free agency. They traded for Frank Clark.
Wasn't
That's
it from
what,
San Francisco, right? Wait,
Seattle, sir.
Seattle. Good lord. Look, I'm. Yeah, I need VA.
Now, it's interesting that they went after Breland after he was pretty much out last season due to a knee injury, if I remember correctly. He originally had signed with, I want to say, Carolina, and then that he failed his physical, so that fell through. So it looks like he's getting a second try with Kansas City, which really needs some help in that secondary.
Well, they also in the draft in the second round, which they had gotten from the LA Rams, they added Juan Thornhill. Thornhill, safety out of Virginia. Having Thornhill and Tyrann Mathieu in the back, and especially after releasing Eric Berry, I feel that Kansas City are really filling the holes on their defense. Their defense looks really good on paper, but I'm going to use a prime example. Just because you look good on paper, you have to see how they perform on the field.
I know.
Let's take the LA Rams, for example. I mean, going into last season, they had probably the number one defense in the league on paper, but they ended up having probably the worst rushing defense in the league. And the defense performed significantly below standard.
And the secondary. Well, we're not on a second look.
I mean, you look at a secondary that had Aqib Talib and Marcus Peters, and come on now. So that's where I'm skeptical about having all these free agents on your defense and adding a very talented safety in Juan Thornhill. Yes, you got a bunch of great players. Your front seven is going to be jacked. I mean, you got Frank Clark, you got Alex Okafor.
I think Clark should make it an instant impact. And who else did they have? Where was that? So they brought in Damian Wilson. One of the questions that I want to see is how they go about replacing Justin Houston.
That's something that's gonna be kind of complicated. Replacing Justin Houston, and I feel that's why they added so many guys on the front seven to kind of pick up where Houston left off. If I'm making sense.
Okay. Yeah, and it doesn't help that he went to Indianapolis either.
But he's just adding fire to Indianapolis Arsenal.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that he's going to be a good running mate with Darius Leonard.
But again, I expect KC to maintain an explosiveness on offense. I do expect NFL defenses to catch up at least some. So if the Chiefs are going to progress this year, they're going to have to do by getting better on defense. I don't think they're going to be able to just blow teams away with their offense this year. Not as effective as they were last season.
And I think Kansas City, they're prepared for a lot of NFL defenses to be more prepared for Patrick Mahomes and their explosive offense. And so that's why I feel like they put a lot of priority on their defense. Someone that's gonna give them that leverage.
It will be interesting to see how the competition in the AFC West is. I'm not too impressed with the Broncos offseason. I'll give Oakland A for effort. They did get Antonio Brown, but still.
I mean, I feel I have honestly, I do have high expectations for Oakland going to next season. I can see them being at lowest probably a wild card team. So I'm just being honest. I mean, you got Antonio Brown, and not only that, you added Josh Jacobs, who runs probably just as angry as Marshawn Lynch.
What I was going at is, quite honestly, as far as I see, the only real challenger in the West to KC that I see is once again the Chargers, who finished a game back.
Yeah, I mean, they were on a roll last season, and it was. I mean, and both teams. Didn't LA finish 13-3, 12-4 around that?
Yeah,
range?
13-3.
13-3.
I mean, they were still in the contention for not only the West Division but also
the number one seed in the
home
AFC.
field advantage. So the AFC, at least at the top, is very competitive.
Very.
because you had, if I remember correctly, 4 teams that were in contention for the number 1 seed going into that final game. KC had the most straight shot, which they did was just win and they're in. There was other scenarios for the other 3 teams, but
And the LA Chargers, they proved that they can hang with the top seeds. I mean, last season going to KC, the Arrowhead Stadium, and knocking off the Chiefs. So that just proves to you like how competitive that division is. Well, at least
didn't they beat the
top
Chiefs
two.
twice?
I think they did.
I think that was why they were still in contention for the division and number 1 seed was that they beat the Chiefs twice.
And the Chargers, that was a team that pretty much snuck their way pretty much dang near to the top last season.
Yeah. So is there anybody else in the draft class that stands out to you?
Not really. It was mainly that their top 2 picks, Mecole Hardman and Juan Thornhill, and I feel that Mecole Hardman can probably be an impact player, that rookie X factor from the jump.
I'd say someone that is a curiosity to me is towards the bottom of the draft, Darwin Thompson. School escapes me. It's a small school, but
He came from Utah State.
Utah State.
But I mean, he can add depth to that backfield. I mean, you lost Kareem Hunt. That was a huge loss.
Not the fastest, most elusive player out there, but from what I can gather from him, he's a pretty stuff it up the middle guy for those extra yards. So I can see possibly him coming in and playing a similar role that the Patriots used Kevin Folk for, being that third down back to come get 1 or 2 yards up the middle.
Extend the drive and kill the clock whenever you need him the most.
Yeah. Also, perhaps a special teams guy. I don't know. It was a little slow for running back. But, perhaps Darwin can evolve into a good running back.
He probably can. I mean, it all depends on how the Chiefs use him.
You totally missed that, didn't you?
Yeah.
His name's Darwin. I said perhaps he can evolve into a good running back.
Oh. Okay.
I made a funny.
Don't ever do that again.
Anywho, KC is going to be a fun team to watch again this year. I do expect Andy Reid to at some point get that elusive, Lombardi.
And Andy Reid's been coaching for a very long time, and I do see the Chiefs competing for the Lombardi this season.
Well, yeah, they're going to compete. Will they win it?
But the thing is, you gotta jump that hurdle, which is the New England Patriots.
Which this year I think would be a lot easier than most people think. The Patriots lost a lot.
A lot.
And yes, there were signs last year showing that Tom Brady is in fact over 40. So.
Yes, and so his skill set is kind of starting to drop off. I mean, but still, Tom Brady is still as deadly as ever.
He's still Tom Brady, but
Tom Brady's Tom Brady. Well, I mean, why did the Patriots win? I mean, how in the world they got all these points on the board and all these yards? Well, Tom Brady's Tom Brady. Bill Belichick's Bill Belichick.
So that wraps up our preseason preview of Kansas City. Join us next time for Chargers, which we were kind of just talking about a little bit a few minutes ago. Anyway, thank you for watching. Y'all have a blessed day.
Baby metal.